I'm often asked by clients questions such as, how do I deal with feedback sites such as TripAdvisor? How do I deal with good reviews, and how do I deal with bad reviews? And more importantly, how do I deal with reviews that don't feel are fair and that are being put up there without my knowledge? Because these sites are outside your control. And what do you think is going to happen in the world today? Do you think there's going to be more of them or less of them? Well, of course, the answer is there's going to be more of them. They're going to be dominating our life going forward. And we all know that what's happening is that customers are becoming more empowered. Customers' reviews and customer feedback are the lifeblood or the death blood of any business. So it's essential to get this right and to know what to do and how to do it. And it isn't easy, because we've never been prepared for this, we've never been taught about it, and we feel quite rightly miffed when a customer's given us a review that we don't think is fair. They've put a review on that they haven't told us about. You know, they haven't told us when they had a bad experience. They've just put it on this review site. So this can be tricky and can be very complicated. So here's what you do. Well, firstly, the first thing you have to do is to adopt the great or poor model in your business. You have to have your great or poor mission, your customer focused mission, I should say. You have to have systems and processes filtered through the customer's real needs. You have to have your go the extra inch systems in place, moving the business forward on your moments of truth, inch by inch, week by week. Okay? And you have to have your measures. Now, if you have really good feedback measures, it's highly likely that you are not going to get feedback on the website that you are not aware of. So, for example, a company such as Go Outdoors. You go in there, they welcome you at the door. Before they take your goods, they check, is everything all right, and did I get everything I wanted? And as I go out of that store, there's an A board there which says, write your feedback for us on this board here, and if there's anything that we haven't been able to do that you'd like us to do, please tell the assistant manager, because we don't want you to leave without telling us your thoughts. We want to get it right for you. Underneath that, there is a picture of the manager with a direct phone number which says, look, if you haven't been able to sort anything out with the team today, please do ring me, because I want to hear from you. I want to make sure that we've got everything right and that we have delighted you and that you'll come back and be loyal and blah, 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 blah. So they do a brilliant job. They prove to you as a customer that they are interested in your feedback. So you're highly unlikely to put a review on any site about a business like that without telling them first, because they've proved you're looking for reviews and you are someone who values customer feedback. Absolutely critically important, because customers will not tell you when you've got it wrong. They'll tell all their friends instead, through feedback sites, through Facebook, through Twitter, through TripAdvisor, through all these sites, Google Plus, Pinterest, etc., etc. They'll tell their friends through all these sites, and they won't tell you. And it's not fair, is it? And the answer lies with you. Because if you don't have the great or poor system in place, and you do not have great feedback and measures in place, then the customer doesn't feel like you care. The customer doesn't feel like you're listening. And the customer doesn't want to feel embarrassed, doesn't want to feel awkward, doesn't want the experience to be a bad one. So they don't tell you when you haven't got it right, unless of course you've probably got it spectacularly wrong, or they are people who generally feedback anyway. Who do they tell instead? They tell all their friends. And this is where the feedback sites come in. Now, so first of all, use the system. Put the system in place. Without the system, managing feedback on sites is like playing Russian roulette. Okay, so put the system in place so that you can move in the right direction, you can listen. And then when you have the feedback on the website, incidentally, I was working with a pub recently, and I had them wearing t-shirts with a picture of a smiley cat on the front of the t-shirt, and the t-shirt says, my job is to make you look like this. That's their customer focus mission. And on the back of the t-shirt it said, if I have made you look like, or if I have done this, please tell all your friends, and if I haven't, please tell me or the manager, because we don't want you to leave unhappy. Or more, I think what it says is we want you to leave happy. We want to have a positive message here. So that worked brilliantly and changed feedback forever for that business. But it only works if it's done as part of the system. There is a true customer focused mission. You are filtering stuff through the customer's real needs. You are having them go the extra inch sessions, and you are genuinely measuring customer feedback and customer loyalty. So what do you do when you get this feedback, good or bad or indifferent or whatever? What do you do with it? Well, good, first of all, that's the easiest one to deal with. The good ones, you always respond. It is absolutely unbelievable how many people have feedback on feedback sites who don't respond. And if you were in the pub and someone came up to you and said, I really like what you did the other day, that was fantastic, you wouldn't just ignore them. You wouldn't say, and ignore them, or not say anything at all. You'd respond and say, thanks very much. That's great, thank you for the feedback, I really appreciate that, I'll try and do that more. So when you get a great feedback on a feedback site, respond, say thank you, thanks for that, it's really kind of you to let us know, to go out of your way to tell us. And then that also gives you an opportunity to put other things in, like, and we've got a new Christmas menu coming out, and we hope that we might see you again for that, or something along those sort of lines. Where is this business going? What information can you put in there? Only one thing, not an essay, like about just a few words. Thanks so much for the feedback, really appreciate it. We hope to see you again. Just to let you know, we'll be launching our Christmas menu in October. With that simple thing like that. When you get a bad feedback that is justified, you know that you've done a bad job, you cocked up, and the bad feedback was justified and probably expected. You say, thanks very much for the feedback, we really appreciate it. Yes, you're quite right, we completely cocked this up. And you can either tell them or tell the feedback site what you did to solve it if they told you at the time, or you can tell the feedback site or the person leaving the feedback on the site, what we'd like to do to solve this for you is this. So if you get back in contact with us, we would like to put it right for you and find a way to turn you into a raving fan. So be positive and proactive and show that you're someone who can take it on the chin and can and will react positively to any feedback and any criticism, because a complaint is a compliment. It's a compliment because they believe that you will do something about it. Okay, so and it gives you information that you need to actually do something about it and to make a difference. So that's what you do when you get a bad one that's deserved. But what about the key one? What about when you get one that you feel is undeserved, one you feel is unfair? Well, it's pretty simple. You do exactly the same as the other ones, and you just use this one, because these people reading these reviews are not idiots. They know when a feedback, when a comment on a feedback site is fair, and they know when it isn't. So I reviewed this restaurant as terrible because they put the butter on my plate rather than in a separate butter dish. Well, might have been important to you, but frankly it's not a very fair complaint for most people. So when you get one that you feel is unfair, the best thing to do is take it on the chin and be honest and say, thank you very much, thanks for the feedback, we really appreciate it. Feedback helps us learn and grow. However, we weren't aware of the problem when you were here, and if we had been aware, we would have done this. So if you'd like to get back in touch with us, we'd like to put it right with you. And the same goes for anyone else who comes here. If there's anything we don't get right, please tell us, because we want you to leave happy. So feedback sites are a huge opportunity if you manage them well. Customers reading feedback read the good stuff, but they don't pay that much attention to it. What they're really looking for is how you respond to the bad stuff. What sort of person are you really when things go wrong? How do you deal with it when you get it wrong? Because customers can understand that you can get it wrong. The chef can go ill, things can get lost in the post. Life happens. Things go wrong. What they're really interested in, though, is when things go wrong, what do you do about it? How good are you? How caring are you? What are you made of, really? What is your personality really like? Because that will show up when things go wrong. All the research on this area stems from looking at feedback sites. You know, TripAdvisor would tell you that a bad response well responded to is more helpful for a reviewer, for someone reading a review, than a good response. So a bad response, a bad review well responded to, is actually a more powerful thing for someone reading than a good response. Well, of course it is, because people read those stuff and people don't really pay much attention to the good stuff. But interestingly, they would say also that people who are reading the bad reviews are already 2/3 down the buying line. They're already wanting to buy, because if they weren't wanting to buy, why are they reading your reviews? Why are they reading your bad reviews, more importantly? Why are they looking at those in detail? So a really proactive, positive, constructive, clear, kind, considerate, but straightforward response to a bad review, deserved or undeserved, is one of your greatest opportunities in this new world of empowered customers and feedback sites. I hope that helps.